You are the divine disruptor. The divine disruption begins within. You didn't come here to conform. You didn't incarnate to make others comfortable or uphold systems built on illusion. You are a divine disruptor, one of the few sent to shift timelines, challenge stagnation, and awaken the sleeping. And often, that means you don't fit. From an early age, you knew you were different. You saw through the masks, felt the distortion in false smiles, knew when energy didn't match words. This is not paranoia. This is perception, a gift disguised as discomfort. Being a divine disruptor doesn't mean you're aggressive or loud. In fact, many chosen ones are silent disruptors. You walk into a room and energy rearranges itself. Truths begin to tremble. Hidden agendas unravel. Timelines collapse in your presence because your vibration is coded to interrupt anything that is not in alignment. You are the glitch in their matrix. You are the holy interference. You are the higher path made manifest. But first, the disruption begins within. Your own life has had to break open time and time again so you could be refined, rerouted, remembered. You've lost things, people, illusions, but you gained vision. And vision is how the divine speaks. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below so we know you're here and connected to Source. The blind side of the spirit. Those who try to study your next move often can't see it coming. That's by divine design. You are spiritually encrypted. The chosen ones have divine cloaking. It is not invisibility, it is camouflage of the spirit. What is meant to reach you will, but what is not for you cannot see you clearly. You move in paradox, visible to the right ones and unseen by the wrong ones. Your presence is confusing to many. It disrupts the masks they wear, the ego they defend, the lies they live. It's not even what you say, it's your being. You could be silent and still trigger 1,000 dormant shadows around you. And while they study you with suspicion, your spirit makes the move. God reroutes you before the enemy can plot. Your ancestors hide you before harm can land. Angels walk with you, stepping ahead in realms unseen. You are the blind side. Supernatural course corrections. Some of the most intense disruptions in your life were not setbacks. They were supernatural redirections. The job that suddenly collapsed, the relationship that abruptly ended, the plan that fell apart just as you were about to commit to it. These were not punishments, they were recalibrations. The divine stepped in and said, "Not this way." And though it may have looked like destruction on the surface, it was sacred construction behind the veil. Divine disruptors often experience the most unusual synchronicities, angel numbers, sudden insights, dreams that rearrange destiny, people who appear out of nowhere with messages. These are not coincidences. These are updates, spiritual software downloads, recalibrating your mission. When you are truly aligned, life doesn't always move linearly. It moves prophetically. You may not know where you're going, but your soul does. And the divine will disrupt anything that threatens your soul's arrival. The power to collapse false timelines. When you arrive somewhere, the energy changes. That's not arrogance. That's spiritual architecture. You carry codes, keys, and frequencies that recalibrate the spaces and systems around you. You weren't sent to blend in. You were sent to shake things loose. That's why you often find yourself in misaligned relationships, workplaces, or situations, not because you're being punished, but because your energy is needed there to crack the old code. Sometimes you're sent to places not to stay, but to shatter, to disrupt false peace, to awaken the sleeping, to mirror what no one else will say out loud. You don't need a pulpit or a platform to be a divine disruptor. Your presence is your sermon. Your energy is your frequency weapon. Your alignment is your protection. You collapse false timelines simply by existing, and those timelines, built on lies, manipulation, and fear, cannot withstand your frequency. Divine interventions and sacred rejections. Rejection has been one of your greatest tools, but not in the way you think. You didn't get rejected because you weren't good enough. You were rejected because your frequency was too high for that reality. God removed you from places that were about to collapse. Your ancestors pulled you from people who could not hold your truth. You were protected through redirection. Sacred rejections are divine interventions in disguise. They don't feel good, but they free you. They make space for your mission to breathe. And that mission requires clarity, not confusion. As a divine disruptor, you are not here to beg for belonging. You are here to embody belonging by walking in truth, even if you must walk alone. Your frequency is the interruption. You've been trying to figure out what it is about you that draws both admiration and resistance. Here is the truth. It's your frequency. You carry an energetic signature that disrupts illusions. That is why the inauthentic squirm around you. That is why systems feel unstable when you enter. That is why they try to label, box, or diminish you, to contain what cannot be controlled. But you are not here to be controlled. You are the living answer to a spiritual equation they cannot decode. You are the anomaly, the holy rebel, the divine disruptor who doesn't just talk about change. You are the change. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's lonely at times. But the truth is, you were never meant to be understood by the masses. You were meant to awaken them. The sacred disruption of relationships. Some people had to leave, not because you failed them, but because your frequency disrupted their comfort. Your growth became their mirror. Your clarity became their confrontation. Your energy stirred what they tried to suppress. And instead of rising with you, they chose to retreat. This is the sacred disruption. It doesn't mean you're unlovable. It means you're uncontainable. Stop mourning what was never meant to remain. Stop blaming yourself for being too much. You were always going to be too much for those not ready to meet you in your truth. But you weren't sent for the many. You were sent for the aligned. And now they're arriving. Those who won't be disrupted by your energy, but activated through it. Why they couldn't see you coming. You were hidden in plain sight, shielded, protected, covered by divine mystery. Because had they seen you coming, they would have tried harder to stop you. But Spirit knows how to hide what is sacred. Your breakthrough was cloaked. Your gifts were masked. Your rise was encoded. You were not unseen because you were unworthy. You were unseen because you were divinely concealed. Now, the veil has lifted. Now, the remembering begins. Now, the disruptor steps fully into their design. And those who tried to block you, they are now watching you become what they could never control. The age of disruption has begun. This world is shifting. Systems are collapsing. Illusions are crumbling. And at the center of this cosmic shift stand the divine disruptors, awakening hearts, dismantling darkness, and reminding the world of the truth it buried. You are not just here to change your life. You are here to disrupt the cycles that bind others. You are here to be the key, the breaker, the blueprint. Your presence changes the atmosphere. Your words pierce timelines. Your vision reveals what's coming. And it is here now that your assignment expands. Final message. To the Divine Disruptor, listening to this, you didn't lose your way. You were led through it. You didn't break down. You were being rebuilt. You didn't ruin the plan. You are the plan. Everything is happening exactly as it should. Don't shrink now. Don't apologize for the chaos that follows your awakening, because every great shift requires a great disruption. And you, disruptor, are the storm that brings the light. There is nothing about you that is accidental. The places you didn't fit, that was divine design. The people who rejected you, they felt your energy before you even opened your mouth. And the reason you felt too much, cared too much, or stood out too far was because you were never meant to blend in. You are the divine disruptor, the holy interruption, the soul-sent intervention. When you enter a space, the frequency shifts. It's not always comfortable for others or even for you, but it's necessary. You were never meant to keep things as they were. You came to shatter illusions, to awaken the sleeping, to challenge the programs, to trigger the healing, to usher in a new way. You carry an ancient flame that doesn't dim in darkness. You are the prophecy they ignored and the answer they didn't see coming. Let them call you intense. Let them call you too much. Let them label you unpredictable. They can name you anything they want. But the truth is this: you are the storm that brings the light. You disrupt because you are coded to rebuild. You were never meant to be understood by systems that thrive on unconscious obedience. You are the glitch in the matrix, the soul whose presence awakens dormant codes in others, the walking reminder that something greater exists and that it lives within us all. So no more apologizing for your knowing, no more shrinking for their comfort, no more dimming to survive their projections. The path you walk is not easy, but it is sacred. And though you often walk it alone, you are never truly alone. Your ancestors are watching. The stars are aligning. The grid responds when you speak. Earth listens when you move. And spirit makes way when you decide. Because when a divine disruptor moves in remembrance, timelines bend, shadows scatter, and new worlds begin. Don't fear the chaos. You are the chaos, forged by divinity, sharpened by trial, and destined to bring order not by restoring the old, but by birthing the new. The mission is not ahead of you, it's within you. And now, it's time. Please be sure to comment below, like and subscribe to stay aligned and connected to Source.